Judge Jeanine, I hate to do this, but when the President of the United States walks in, this is yours, sir. How are you?
I'm very good.
You're not even tired, are you?
I'm not that tired. I'm excited because we had an incredible day today in Ohio. We had an incredible time in Indiana. And now we're with you.
You left nothing on the field. 11 stops, 11 cities.
No, but I feel very guilty about interrupting Judge Jeanine. I don't like doing that.
She'll give you an earful about it probably soon. The closing arguments seem to be the same. I started my show tonight and I said, this is where we were 2 years ago. This is the record of Obama.
Right.
By the way, the biggest joke I saw this weekend is him saying, a guy that said, you didn't build that. I started this. And I'm like,
no. It's ridiculous. It is. And frankly, if their agenda kept going forward, meaning if the other side had won, we would have been down 4.2 or 6 or 7. We were going down. It was very bad when I took it over. And if we didn't open it up and cut regulations, the whole Obama thing would have collapsed. It would have been a disaster.
4.5 million jobs in less than 2 years.
Yeah.
4.3 million Americans off of food stamps. 4 million Americans out of poverty. A path towards energy independence. You spent $3.5 billion on the border wall, and I know you're disappointed. You want the rest.
Well, I want to build it in one time, and you need it, and you see it. But now we have the incredible military forces out there, and they're putting up barbed wire fences. We have a barbed wire wall, and you see that, what they're doing, highest level. And we are making it very strong. We're making it very, the whole thing in terms of the military, plus the back wall, plus the barbed wire. Plus we have a lot of digging going on, a lot of trenching. And people aren't going to come into our country without going through the legal process. You can't do that. Otherwise, you have no country.
We want you to come. Just come legally.
The whole plan of the Democrats, I got $700 billion for the military. The next year I got 716. We've totally rebuilt our military. But they fight like you've never seen to make sure we don't build a wall. And I've got $1.6 billion, another $1.6 billion, and a third $1.6 billion. I'm building it in nice, large pieces, but I'd like to build it all at one time. Their whole plan is to try and make sure that we don't build the wall. That's the whole thing. The number is peanuts compared to what we did with the military.
You see the study last week, $70,000 per illegal immigrant in this country that we pay. That's all, that's education, healthcare.
We lose $100 billion a year on illegal immigration. We lose that in 1 year. If you spent the money to build the wall, it's just a tiny fraction of 1 year. We're going to build it, but that's not. We are very strong now. We have the worst laws anywhere in the country: catch and release, visa lottery. All of these laws are a disaster. We have the worst laws. We've got to get them changed. The Democrats won't give us any votes. We need Democrat votes. You can't. We don't have enough Republicans, or unless we elect a lot of Republicans tomorrow. But I will say that we're doing really well on illegal immigration, considering we have the worst laws you've ever seen. We're moving thousands of MS-13 out of the country. They're being put into jails, and they're being sent out of the country. And frankly, in a lot of ways, I like out of the country for more, because putting them into jail, let them solve it. But we've moved thousands of MS-13 gang members. We moved them out of the country.
We have close races in Florida. You were down, I was watching you last night in Florida. Indiana, you take the Libertarian out, Joe Donnelly loses by 10. Montana now, you have the Republican Rosendale up by 3.
Yeah.
You have, in this state, Josh Hawley up by 3. You have, in Nevada, Dean Heller holding on by 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Arizona, I don't know how a woman that supports Americans fighting with the Taliban even gets 5% of the vote, but it's apparently a little tight race with Martha McSally, a war hero.
I think Martha is great. She is a hero. She flies. She's one of the best fighter pilots. I mean, she was really good. I spoke to some of the people that went with her and were with her. They said she was tremendous as a pilot. I don't know how she could possibly lose. The other one, she's just terrible.
Yeah.
And you talk about border walls. The other one doesn't want any border walls. She doesn't want any protection, nothing. But I think Martha's going to do well, and I think North Dakota's going to do well. Florida's a very, very close race, and it's inconceivable because
it's always
Bill
close
Nelson,
in Florida. Wasn't that close for you, though? You did okay in Florida.
We did great, but Bill Nelson is a terrible senator.
You've never. It was funny. You gave a speech the other night. You said, I've never talked to him. And then he took credit.
He's never once called me saying, can I have something for the people of Florida? Never once. 2 years, almost 2 years. Whereas, I must say, Rick Scott, that's all he does is call.
Rolls up his
He wants
sleeves.
Things. Look at the great job he did with the hurricanes. I mean, he did a fantastic job. Lake Okeechobee, they had a big problem. He's taking care of Lake Okeechobee. But Bill Nelson, the current senator, never calls. So hopefully for the good of the people of Florida. And also, I have to say, Ron DeSantis has to be governor. You can't let a
40%.
man that ran Tallahassee into the ground, highest murder rate they've ever had, corrupt, crime-ridden. It's a disaster. You can't let him be the governor of Florida. That would be a disaster. Ron DeSantis, Harvard, Yale, good guy, hard worker. I think he's going to be a great governor, but it's a very close race.
You want to make a closing argument. You know what's interesting? Because I watched the media. They're trying to define this as the Trump midterm. They kind of forgot that.
Unless we win, in which case they'll go away.
No, then they'll go to Russia. Then they'll go back.
They'll go back to Russia.
They'll go back to Russia. Right. But it was funny. Bill Clinton lost about 54 seats in the House. Obama lost 60-some-odd seats in the House. I love how Nate Silver, who said you had a 20% chance of winning on the day of the election, predicting, 85% chance. But then you read the article, it says, well, there can be anywhere between 15 and 60. I could predict 15 and 60. I don't have to do any, polls to find that out. So it's the American people that decide. It's getting out in midterms.
There is something going on, though, Sean. I leave Ohio. Thousands and thousands of people can't get into this massive arena. I just left Indiana. Thousands and thousands of people outside can't get. There's something going on. There's an electricity that feels like 2016.
Mr. President, on the way in here, it was pouring all day here. 4 hours. I went out for an hour. I'm actually sweating more than I like, almost like Marco Rubio that day. And I like Marco, don't misunderstand me. But I went out there an hour before the show, and the crowd is electric. Every hat I signed, it wasn't a Hannity hat. I wish I had a penny for every one of the Make America Great hats I signed today. But every hat was soaking wet. There's a bigger crowd outside than there is inside.
True.
What do you want to say to the Americans? We have about 30 more seconds. Am I right on the?
Well, I'm just
90 seconds. Okay.
I'm just honored because no matter where I go, it's the same way. It's not like just in Ohio or just in Indiana or just right here in Missouri. I'm so honored by it. There's something going on. And it reminds me of 2 years ago when I knew something was going on, and you knew it, by the way, and people that were with us knew it. They were looking at each other. I remember, I'll never forget, two sort of anti-reporters were looking at each other as I was making a speech with 32,000 people. They were going wild. Look, that was a great time, and I think this is going to be a great time.
Election day, I actually called you. I said, you're going to get bad news at about 5:30 or 5:15 that afternoon. You lost Florida, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and you won them all. Polls don't mean anything. The poll that matters is tomorrow.
I lost them based on the fake news.
Fake news.
But about 2 hours later, when they counted the actual votes, we won very easily.
The home of Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, yeah. Great guy.
And Cape Girardeau is hometown America for you. Right. Mr. President, good luck.
Thank you very much.
You left it all on the field.
Well,
and that's the way it should be.
We did, and I think going to be
You missed my opening monologue tonight.
I did. No, I saw it on the plane. Actually, I saw it on the plane. I never miss your opening monologue.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank
Great
you very
to be
much.
with you. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. All right, we're out of time. Let not your heart be troubled. The news continues. Laura Ingraham is standing by. Laura, how are you? You want to say hi to the President?
Hi, Mr. President.
Hi, Laura.
Are you going to close this
really,
or what?
You are doing some job.
You're doing.
I'm very proud of her.
She's laughing. And why do you always get the compliments all the time? You got the interview last week. You get the compliments.
Oh my God!
And here I am.
I don't know who's more competitive, you or the President. It's a tie. Okay, the two most competitive people ever.
I'm competitive.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
I will say this. I think everybody's met their match. I don't think anyone has your energy level. You love this. You really love this.
Well, I love what we're doing for the country. I love what we're doing for the people. It's turned around. We're rebuilding our military. Our vets now have Veterans Choice, which they've never had. 44 years they were trying to get it. We're just doing a good job. And we have the strongest economy we've ever had in the history of our country. And
I went through every record. One question you want me to ask the President on your behalf, Laura? Go ahead.
Mr. President, the American people are, I think, desperate for calm and unity. What message tonight are you going to give to them as we move forward, looking to the horizon of the future in this country?
American people looking for calm and unity? This is a divided country in many ways. What message do you have for Americans?
Well, I think success will do that. I think we have to get over this election, see how it comes out. It'll be an interesting time. But I think, and I really think we have to do that first. I think success is going to do. We're having the most successful time financially, economically that we've ever had. I think that's going to bring a lot of people together. It's going to start.
Okay. Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Laura, have a great show. It's great to see you in Missouri. My final word to everybody is Go vote.
All
Go
right,
shock the world.
Absolutely.
Do it again. Just imagine the payoff when you look at the media's face tomorrow. Oh, they'll crack up. That will be worth the price of admission.
Hannity,
Have a great night.
Hannity, great
Thank you all
show.
for being
Thanks
with
so
us.
much.